What's up, guys? It's Andrew with Moss BMW, with my man Kevin on camera. I'm extremely excited to be reviewing the new BMW M850i X-Drive 8 Series. This is a beautiful car. This is a very pure iteration, the pure essence of a GT, a Gran Turismo car. This is a 2+2 coupe, 2 in the front, 2 in the back. This car, built off the 7 Series chassis, built off the 7 Series platform. You get massive brakes, beautiful as standard cerium gray wheels. The cerium gray color gets moved into the side gills, which are air outlets, the exterior rearview mirror caps, the large angular kidney grills. This car is really on the cutting edge of BMW's current design language. You get big kidney grills these days. It's classically BMW, but still moving forward. These are thin, blade-like laser headlights. Actually the thinnest ever headlights BMW have done. And this car carries on the heritage from the original 8 Series, which would have been in the mid-90s, the E31, which was another gorgeous car. This thing has a lot to live up to, and I think it does. I really think it does. This car was developed in conjunction with the M8 GTE, which was an FIA Endurance Championship race car, a very successful race car. This car's got a lot of real aerodynamic features. It has really low drag. It even looks low drag. It's a long, swept coupe, just a classically stylish coupe. This one has the optional carbon fiber roof, which this is the first non-M car that you can get a carbon fiber roof on. So that's something we're pretty excited about. It lowers the center of gravity, takes a lot of weight out of the top. Now the car weighs about 4,500 pounds, 4,400 pounds, so it's not like it's a light car, but it does not feel heavy when you drive it. Moving to the back, if we look at the exhaust trim finishes are that same cerium gray color. And if you look on the inside, you can see a valve that'll actually open and close depending on what mode you're in and where the throttle location is. So it's basically like active sound. It's pretty awesome. I mean, it's an amazing car. It's an ideal grand touring car. It's something I could see myself getting at the BMW Welt in Munich, Germany. It's a BMW European delivery. Many people don't know about European delivery, but this would be ideal. You know, you could gallivant about Europe in this car, the Italian lakes, the south of France, anywhere you'd like to go. This is the car for that. Now we're going to move to the interior, which we could never finish the exterior. There's a lot to talk about, but we'll touch on the interior. I think first we should start with this leather. This is a night blue and black merino leather. This leather, if without touching it, you won't know. It is incredible. It is so premium, so supple. This car has the stainless webbing sort of trim, stainless mesh. And let's start it here. We'll get an eye on some of this ambient lighting. You do get the Harman and Kardon speakers as standard. You can see the ambient light that we're talking about pulsating there. This car's got the iDrive 7. It's actually got cloud-based voice control. You can say, "Hey BMW," and it will listen like it is right now. You can touch the screen, you can gesture control, you can use these controls. You can kind of do what you want. And let's not disregard the Alcantara headliner. This is such a luxury premium material, the suede Alcantara. But very motorsport too. A lot of race cars have Alcantara all over. This is really an amazing car to be inside, to sit in. The cockpit is very driver oriented. Definitely is here for me, and not that the passenger gets mistreated, but everything's driver oriented, and it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So many standard features in here that touching on all of them would be tough, and I will fail to touch on all of them. Now this one doesn't have the glass Swarovski crystal controls, but that's an option. That's beautiful. This is still amazing looking. You get the little M badging right here on the transmission selector. Start stop button has moved. We'll turn it off. But that's just a quick of the interior. There's a lot more we could talk about. So now here we are doing what the car loves most, which is driving. It's the best part of the BMW or BMW. I just get all into German mode.
Hello, what can I help you with?
Well, you can help me with this review. We're just gonna go slow here. Driving this car, you can really feel the standard rear wheel steering. At speeds of 45 and under, the rears steer in opposite directions of the fronts, which pivot and swivel the car in a way that you really have to feel to know, to experience. And in Sport and Sport Plus modes, it'll actually do it up to 55 miles an hour for the added sportiness of, 10 miles an hour extra. But this car driving, you have no idea you're in a car that weighs 4,450 or 4,500, whatever it weighs. It's just an awesome cockpit. There's really just no other way to say it. So comfortable. Our roads are so bad, and you would have no clue. With the low profile tires and the big 20-inch rims, you have no idea that you're on Acadiana roads. It's got electric dampeners, basically adaptive M suspension as standard. It can independently harden and soften each suspension dampener for the road conditions. It also has electric motors on the sway bars, so at speed it can tighten up the sway bars for much less roll. So it's anti-roll as standard. And when you put the car
in surroundings that are as quiet as possible.
When you put the car into sport mode, you immediately get stiffer suspension, stiffer steering, the exhaust burbles, you can hear it, an insane response. And the off-throttle burbles are incredible. It's like my favorite part. Like that. It's just awesome. The transmission is so sharp. Steering is so on point. This car's got integral active steering standard. So at low speed, it'll actually quicken up the ratio to where I have to put less input and give more steering into it. But at high speed, it deadens up the ratio, because if we're on the racetrack and we're turning into a corner at high speed, we basically want, let's go back into comfort. We basically want it to be a little dead. We don't want it super twitchy at high speed, because if we're turning in at, let's say, 130, at the first corner in NOLA, we don't want the car to be super twitchy. We want it to be pretty stable. So it's at home on the racetrack, and obviously it's at home on the streets. It's really something to behold. I mean, even being in this car is a pleasure and an honor. All right, we want to show you backup assistant, which is standard in the 8 Series. I've selected it, hands off the wheel, and it'll just put the same steering that I just put to get in here to get out. And all I do is modulate the brake, and it's just going, which is really cool, and that's standard too. So there you have it, guys. That's the 8 Series. It's awesome.